Welcome to part 2 of the future of GT, ladies and gents, and yes, it actually did make it to part 2. Yeah, it's taking quite some time because I've been doing some exams, and yeah, that has kept me quite busy, but I've gotten all my heavy exams out of the way, so I got some time to do this. Now, on to the last few things I'm going to talk about of GT's future, and those are the features. So let's get on with that, shall we? Now, Kaz has recently stated that the PS4 will make an incredible difference for GT7. That's really something to look forward to, since Kaz laments how difficult it was to develop for the PlayStation 3. So what more can we expect, or suggest, or what? So many more features and gameplay, I rate, and basically a little more polish to the games, I guess. So okay, let's talk graphics quickly then. I'm not going to say too much in terms of graphics for GT7 because we all know that's going to be on point for the PS4 since it's going to be better hardware. And since the premium cards on PS3 are PS4 ready, along with the tracks, most of the tracks I may add, I rate the only thing PD needs to do is to improve on their textures, lighting, particles, anti-aliasing. Did I even say that properly? I don't know, but either ways, and getting that consistent 60 frames per second at 180p, even for the replays. Now, I'm not too concerned about 4K and 3D, and I'm sure plenty of other players aren't, but we need the basics right now. That's all we really need. The weather is alright, but hey, maybe some heavier rain, clouds, reflections on the track, and active water droplets on the car would really seal the deal. And let's not even forget the sounds of weather too. And it's actually raining outside now as I'm doing this video, so yeah, what a coincidence actually that I mentioned that. So anyways, another quick thing is, in terms of graphics, I think the cameras that you can use in race need some adjustments. For example, the chase cam needs to be a bit closer to the car, the addition of a bonnet camera, and more freedom to look at the exterior and interior of the cars would be best. A fluid helmet camera like in Shift 2 would be pretty cool, and maybe just some fine tuning. I mean, an adjustable field of vision. Is it field of vision, FOV, whatever? I don't know, I think it's field of vision. Either way. On to the next thing, our tuning features. Now those do need some meat, and we do need some new ones. And one thing that was left out in GT6 was the vehicle testing option. You remember that old acceleration test? That basically. But let's have that back along with some other tests like an aero test or wind tunnel and a suspension test, all in one even. And I remember someone on GT Planet posting and asking Kaz like when will we be getting the KW suspension test rig, which would be pretty nice to have. And the vehicle test features are a really big thing with the tuning community because players want to get most of their tunes before taking them out to the track for the first time and even tuning them further, or for that online event or special offline event, whichever you want to do. And the tuning parts do need some work too. I mean, I want to see some more components to upgrade and mess around with, like cams, valves, turbo boost pressure adjustment, VVTi engagement points, stroking, port polishing, twin turbos, and components that will affect your driving, like fuel mods that will affect your fuel economy, engine and oil cooling. I mean, you name it. The world is endless here, but let's keep it limited at this bit. The basics is what we need right now. Let's just remember that. And there should be just enough to customize, and all of these can be adjusted quite nicely, plus they can coincide with the new sound engine as well, with things like blower valves and external wastegates. And I rate collaborations with tuning firms, of which there's no shortage of in Japan, like HKS and Mines, can really help with the vehicle tuning and parts behavior within the game. They don't need to reveal like all of their secrets and stuff, but the thing is they can just aid within the development, so then, you know, PD can be on the right track of things. And one big thing that I really need to see in GT in the near future though, and I think other games are really struggling to get this right, is this whole thing of torque physics. So what is that, you may ask? What is torque physics? Well, I'm going to explain to you. This is your medicine right here. This is it basically. It's pretty interesting. Now, a mate of mine actually brought this up from another game, and I looked more into it for GT purposes. And when I speak of torque physics, it's basically the factors like, let's say, a turbo car when you feel the turbo spool and reach full boost, and the behavior of the engine, it changes pretty much. And then there's a surge in speed and all of the other factors that I may consider, but that's just what I'm saying off the top of my head now. And also like when VTEC engages, and yeah, like I said before, when the engine's behavior changes. Like the surge in RPM, the speed, and just a better torque representation, like even for naturally aspirated cars like climbing onto the cam. And the torque physics right now in GT6, they feel pretty linear, and I'd like to see something more dynamic, especially since we're told that PS4 is gonna have a lot more possibilities. And I feel if that comes about, then it can change the way players can tune and race their cars, and it's pretty much a game changer for racing sims. And speaking of physics, actually, a better sense of speed is actually needed. And maybe the car having some more momentum and some motion blur would be cool, but the cars do need to feel faster. And also, yeah, sound does play a role in this. I mean, if they do that, then the experience of doing a race in GT will be pretty nice. And on to another big thing, and that is GT Auto. And GT Auto needs more of a use. Like for example, for the car wash, I'd like the cars to get dirty and actually have dirt stay onto the cars until you wash them off, like from after a race or something like that. Or like right now and it's raining and the car's already getting dirty outside, like it was pouring a lot earlier. But yeah, that's beside the point. Anyways, where was I? Oh yes, things like mud, dust, track debris, dulling of the car's paint over time and staying like that after a race can give GT Auto Wash a really nice use. Even something like, let's say, a paint correction feature that can correct swirls and scratches after a car's been for a few heavy drives would be really sweet. I mean, it's not too much of a thing to add because I think it's really something that's very texture based. But yeah, it would be something really nice to have, and it can really just add a nice novelty feature to the game, even with cars from the used car dealership. And with engine related bits, with GT Auto, I'd like to see some shorter intervals between oil changes and engine overhauls, so this would give a more of a meaning to the use of those functions. I know it's not real world intervals, but we want more use of the functions since they're there, okay? But maybe two different service options, like a minor service, which is like a fluids top up and stuff, and a major service would do best. A suspension overhaul for used cars would be cool too after some hard thrashing, and like you can hear the knocks and bangs in your suspension. It doesn't really handle that well. And someone on GT Planet mentioned if car failures could be implemented, which would be nice, but in my opinion, it can get a bit annoying if it's too real. And something like, let's say, having the color of your exhaust smoke determining the condition of your car's engine, like if it's used, new, or just really lacking a service because you've been neglecting the poor thing, which can bring down the car's power significantly, would be cool. And it's not too realistic, and it's something nice to add. Something new can be brought in, like let's say a vehicle inspection feature which can diagnose faults that need to be fixed as well, would be pretty cool for GT Auto. But what really bothered me about GT Auto though is the famous animations and cutscenes were, well, pretty much cut from GT6. I mean, you remember those huge paint guns from GT5? It was fun and it was nice. Those were the little things that really added a nice touch to the game, and I'd really like to see that return. And you know, it's sometimes the novelty things in a game that make its experience great. I'd imagine a cool way to wash a car in GT7 would be to have like a huge mass of water just gush onto the car, and then the same with the soap, and another mass of water just gush on, and then just to dry it off, you know, you have those huge like, you know, those paint guns that were in GT5, but then just make them air fans that will just blow off all of that water. And then a GT Auto attendant, ugh, I'm messing up today, but either way, I'm hyped doing this. Let's just continue on. A GT Auto attendant, yeah, I said that properly. Yeah, GT Auto attendant would come up and then just do a quick swipe with the cloth to end the wash. That is complete novelty, and it's nice to watch. You can have the option to turn off the features, like, I mean, not features, the animations, if you don't want to go through all of that stuff, but it's nice to have, really. And GT Auto is a feature that you can't really find in other games, so it's pretty unique in the sense that you felt like you owned and you maintained the car. It gave the cars a sense of identity, and that's one thing that is actually lacking in a few other games. Like little features like this, like GT Auto, gives you a sense of ownership. It gives the game a sense of identity. That's what really gives like GT a real sense of novelty. So anyways, I'm actually going to end off here, but do not fear. In the next installment, I'll continue on with the features, and hopefully I will not take too long to come out of the video. Yeah, like I said, I'm doing exams, so you know, just bear with me for a little bit, alright? Anyways guys, it's your boy TayeedzSA here. You know, like, subscribe, all that other YouTube jazz, and I guess I'll be seeing you guys around. Peace.